There's more one way to cook an egg, as they say, and similarly, there's more than one way to suppress the vote or to suppress a census. And Republicans have been caught kind of doing all of the above and just being generally misleading. Republicans have been sending fundraising letters with bogus push poll surveys disguised as official census documents. The census is actually about to start. 2020 is a census year. We've covered for years that the census is really important. It determines how all sorts of different funds are distributed to states, congressional districts. It determines how representation is doled out in the United States. And the census has been a fiasco under Donald Trump. There were periods of totally absent and no leadership. It's been underfunded, behind on hiring, poor execution. There is now someone running the census. We'll hear from them momentarily. And now Republicans send this via the mail, a letter called 2020 Congressional District Census. Now, of course, they don't say this is the U.S. Census. They call it the Congressional District Census. But very reasonable people might not realize that the census is all federal, that the term congressional census doesn't really make sense, that this is something else. And this is the point. It has a section for political profile asking, for example, do you plan to support Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election? That's not a real question you would see on an actual census. It asks whether political correctness has gotten out of hand in America. Hint, that's not a real census question. And it also includes at the bottom a box to certify the survey, which of course has no real meaning whatsoever other than to make this bogus document appear more legitimate than it is. And then there's also a spot to put in your credit card number and send a donation to the Republican National Committee. This is what we call push questions. These are opinions presented to you as questions. These have been spotted around the country. Ohio has reported them, Washington and California. They've been seen in Montana. This has been done before by Republicans. Back in 2010, there was actually legislation passed called the Prevent Deceptive Census Lookalike Mailings Act. It's sick that we need that, but we do. And what that act did was to ban non-government groups from sending anything with the word census on the envelope, cover, or wrapper through the mail. Now, this mailing, because of how it was packaged, may not violate that act. And that means that the act is not nearly specific and strict enough. Here is Congresswoman Katie Porter questioning the census director about it. This is Stephen Dillingham. He's sort of open to investigating this, but he keeps talking about how the census generally handles investigations. And Katie Porter keeps repeating, okay, yeah, but I want to talk about this letter from Republicans, not generally what you do. Take a look at the video.
But here we are, 10 years later, and the RNC is at it again. Dr. Dillingham, are you familiar with this RNC mailer?
I've heard generally about the problem.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it.
We have sent it to the Census, to the Postal Bureau for investigation. Will you please commit to reviewing this?
We will be glad to review it.
I'm asking you personally, will you commit to reviewing this?
I certainly will.
Thank you. Have you asked the RNC to cease and desist from using the term 2020 census or official census in its mailings?
Congresswoman, I would have to look and see. I'm not sure who sent that out. And
I am.
Okay.
Because I have reading glasses. I'm sure you're going to be able to see this. Mm-hmm. Way down here on page 2, this little bitty box, in about, I would say, 4 to 6 point font, it says paid for by the Republican National Committee. Will you ask the RNC to stop using the terms 2020 census, official census, and a registration census code?
We will study this problem, and let me tell you what we do for avoiding any type of scam or misrepresentation.
I would love to ask you more generally about this, but I'm concerned about this. And this mailing has already gone out.
This, of course, is Donald Trump's pick to run the census. This does appear to be a difference between Democrats and Republicans. I was not able to find any instances of Democrats sending fundraising letters that are designed to look like the census to trick people, and they're still playing this game. So many Americans have moved on to How do we get health care because our system is broken? How do we solve our crumbling infrastructure while curtailing spending on bombs and missiles all over the world? How do we get a president who won't be a worldwide embarrassment day in and day out? And meanwhile, Republicans are using their same old tricks, and the tricks work. Voter suppression, voter purges, fundraising letters meant to look like the census with the word census on them in a census year, in spite of being just push-pull questions meant to get people to favor Donald Trump and maybe even cut a check or put in their credit card number to donate to the RNC. And unfortunately, I wish I could say this stuff doesn't work, but it does. If you receive this, you are more likely to think, I did the census, when the actual census forms show up. This stuff is likely to have all sorts of follow-on effects. And this stuff, again, it should be against the law. It seems as though they figured out a way to get around that act that prevents impersonating census documents. But these are the tricks that have worked for them for a very long time. And these are the tricks that they're going to continue using unless somebody stops them. And so far, it's not clear that, at least in any kind of quick and rapid sense, this is going to be stopped. Check this out. Right now, for $20, David Pakman Show viewers can get an entire year of award-winning antivirus plus a VPN, which makes you anonymous online. And you can use both on 3 of your devices when you use the link down below. It's all provided by our sponsor, Total AV. Total AV is an antivirus company that has earned their excellent reputation. I use it to keep my computer and phone safe. It works on Windows, Mac, iPhone, Android, even tablets. These days, if you're using the internet on any device without a layer of protection, you're taking a risk. Total AV protects you from viruses, spyware, ransomware, adware. These are real threats that can create real problems for devices that get infected. Maybe you got a new computer or phone over the holidays that's not yet protected. Maybe you have devices that have been vulnerable for even longer than that. Some people aren't even aware that they've been infected. It's not worth taking the risk when it's this affordable to defend your devices. Total AV is giving my viewers 80% off. So for just $20, you're going to get a whole year of Total AV's premium antivirus on 3 devices. Plus, you're going to get their trusted VPN that makes you anonymous when browsing online and has a bunch of security and privacy benefits. It's so simple to use. You install it, it runs in the background, you forget about it. It's $20 very well spent when you think about the peace of mind that comes with it. Check out Total AV. Click the link right underneath this video.